Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Artists. I'm your host, Omar Rashid. Today's topic of discussion is publishers and authors, and I got some wonderful people here. Miss M, Meets the Bookstore. She's a publisher, she's a writer, she's everything. I got Frida Camille, who's a newly playwright and an author. I have my man D. Marky Hall, who's a professional boxer and an author, and I have publisher Dave Ware, who's a publisher and an author and everything else. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start off with Miss M and Frida. What inspired you all to be authors? In your case, in Dave's case, not only an author but a publisher as well.
Well, I've written all of my life. I started out with poetry as a young girl, coming from the Caribbean. When I came to America, writing became part of my solace, my peace.
Right.
But as I matured and to come up to present, my interest in writing, it didn't waver, but what I really wanted to do when I opened my bookstore, Meet Your Books, was to tap into the voices of the men and women behind bars.
Okay.
So writing took on a different form for me. It was now I wanted to hear the words of others and the stories of others so I can help them become writers and have their voices be heard.
Okay.
So that's what kind of is fueling me right now.
Okay. Frida?
My life inspired me to write. As a little girl, I went through a lot of different adversities, not so great situations, rape, molestation, separation, abandonment, abuse. So my writing became a place of peace, as Ms. M said, a place of solace. And, it was my place to hide, and I would journal a lot, and I became interested in writing poetry. And so eventually, as I became a teenager, that became my way of expression and a way of becoming, I would say, captivating others, in a way of love. That was my way that I would find love.
Right.
And so I found out that, it was something that I was really good at, and I decided that I wanted to become an author.
Okay. D. Marky?
To spread awareness, to teach the children the truth,
Right.
and some adults the truth about our culture. A lot of times I feel we don't get a fair shake in all areas of life.
Right.
In the education system, we're not taught true stories about black people a lot of times. So that's why I made this book, Black Lives Matter book, with a lot of great hidden figures that we weren't taught about, that aren't being taught about still, so that I could teach about the people that look like me and the people that look like us all sitting here today.
Right.
This Black Patriots book, this
Right.
great African-American war heroes. On the back, I put the statue of all the Congressional Medal of Honor recipients that we have here in Wilmington, Delaware, that needed to get restored. We rehabilitated this monument that is the only monument like it in this country, right here in Brandywine Park. And those lights are fixed because of awareness that we spread, letting people know that this is something that needs to be done. We gotta do better. So it's all, that's why I write to put a fire on somebody, just to propel somebody to do something better than what it was that we were doing before.
Right. Okay, Dave?
Well, the reason why I decided to start a publishing company, and actually I wrote a book also, but this book was like the seed. And in a word, it says if it's not, if it's not big enough to be a seed, to make it your harvest. So when I actually wrote this book, it began to inspire me to try to help other people. And my main goal when I wrote it, and I found out all the things that you need to do to actually publish it, and I learned those things and mastered those things, and I said that I was going to help other people who are less fortunate and didn't have an opportunity to understand or even learn. And then I've even gone to the extent of customizing packages and things for people, and to meet them where they are and to meet their needs so that they can have their books published.
Right.
So yeah.
And speaking of publishing, Ms. M, you've published a lot of local talent here in the city of Wilmington. The matter of fact, they did book signers at your store when we was at Tri-State Mall and currently your current location on Philadelphia Pike.
Right.
So if someone was to come to you and say, Ms. M, I want you to be my publisher, walk us through the process of your role of being a publisher and how you help that writer.
Well, you know, my writing to me is so personal, and it is indeed an art. But many authors don't realize that when you venture into the role of publishing, it now becomes a business.
Right.
And that is where they
Right,
get
right.
kind of messed up.
Yeah.
You know, so someone walks into my store. Let's say Frida came to me and said, "Hey, no, Miss M, I have this idea." The store closed my face.
Yes.
Like, we can use this as an example.
Yeah.
So we sat and we
Yes,
talked. and
yes, we did.
Threw ideas. She threw ideas. Well, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking.
Right.
So I didn't say, well, okay, you know, start writing. You know, start writing, and everybody wants it to be perfect. The first draft is never perfect.
Right.
Just begin the process of the art of writing.
Right.
Okay, and sometimes, you know, you have the ending before you have the beginning.
Right.
If you have the ending before the beginning, that's fine.
Right.
You know, that's like an and then, you know, and then you tell a
Yes.
story, you say, and then this happened, and then that happened. So I tell them, just keep writing. You know, if you're a writer, keep writing. Don't worry about the publishing part. You know, so we threw ideas together, and then because I've published so many authors, I can then tell, okay, you know what, this is step one, this is step two. The first is you get your manuscript together. Okay, then we find a editor who is a better writer than you and I.
Right,
We
right.
send that manuscript to the editor.
Right.
In the meantime, she's looking at her cover. We're still collaborating. We're looking at the cover.
right.
She's getting her ISBN number. She's getting her barcode. She's getting all these things together.
Right.
So it's not only about writing, but she's understanding to a degree the business of publishing.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so there's a process. And also people think that it's, you know, you can always find someone to consult with, or guess what? Do what I did. I went to the books. The books are filled with information. The internet has so much information. But at some point, it's nice to speak to someone who has already done it.
Right.
You know, that you can, to make sure that you're on the,
Yeah, like a mentor, like you said.
Yes.
Yes. And I still, it's funny because you say that, and I can visualize. There's a notebook piece of paper that I have still in your handwriting where she's written out the steps by steps, exactly what I need to do with several books. Like I have 6 now, but there's a certain number of books that I've gone directly to Miss M, and
Right.
she's coached me all the way through
Right.
each step. There are sometimes people will come to you and they themselves may have self-published or have published through someone else,
Right.
but sometimes people will not steer you in the right direction, and you really have to find someone that you
Yeah,
honestly
somebody-
trust.
Definitely.
Oh.
And Dave, as a publisher as well, is it a responsibility of the publisher to market the book, or is it a writer's responsibility to talk about it
Well,
from your angle?
You can approach that in 2 ways.
Okay.
Some people, when they publish their book, they decide that they want to market it themselves,
Right.
because you know they do have social media handles like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, you got to do more than that.
You know,
yeah.
YouTube. So they'll venture out and take the necessary steps to actually put that information out on social media in that way. And you can be successful. It's work that is involved with that, but with anything, you know, to be successful, you need to put it in, and they couldn't be successful like that. And also, just with the publisher aspect of it, if you want your information to be more so like global and have an opportunity to get in bookstores and things like that, then you do need to have a outlet or some type of venue to actually put it out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you just, and I would also like to say that, you know, when you want to get your books in certain bookstores, like the ones like Barnes and Nobles and Books A Millions and things like that, the demand, you know, must be created for you to occupy shelf space. You know, now, although this is true, but now you can have your books accessible online in bookstores. Like if you know, I mean, I have some authors that you can go into Barnes and Nobles up there at the Christiana Mall and just type in, you know, your book name and it'll pop up. So there is opportunity, and people who are walking in bookstores that's still there, you know, they can see their information, but when the demand is created, then, you know, you can be able to occupy information on the shelves.
and
So,
if I may add,
Yeah.
a demand is created because of the author.
right.
It's not the publisher's sole responsibility. This is my work of art.
Right.
Right.
So I'm now the saleswoman. If I want to reach the public. Why? First of all, why did I write this book?
Right.
Who is my audience?
Right.
If it's the families of incarcerated men and women, young people, then I have an audience.
Right.
So the success of my book is me.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Now you gotta hustle.
Yes.
Okay. It's
Right.
not, no. Even though
Right,
even,
I
even if
would
it's sitting
agree.
in Barnes
Yes.
and Nobles and Borders
would
and
agree.
not Borders. I love Borders, but anyway, they're out of business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No matter where it's sitting,
Yeah.
Right.
you are the one to make your product, your book, a success based on why you wrote it and the audience you want to reach and the purpose and the meaning behind it. That's why it's important for me. I feel that I love authors that have a message
Right,
and a
definitely.
meaning that your book is never old. It's never, oh, I got to write a new book. You know,
definitely,
one just dropped and you want to write a new book. No, 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 no. What's the purpose? Why are you writing?
Right.
You know,
And,
so your
let-
audience.
Let me go to D. Markey and Frida, because both of you, well, D. Markey, you self-publish, and I've seen you all around town promoting your book,
He
your
does.
children's book.
He does.
So talk about why you decided to self-publish and how you go about, marketing your own work, and then Frida, you can go after D. Mark.
It's kind of like boxing because you said it's all about the author.
Yes.
With fighting, you said I was a professional fighter. I'm still an amateur fighter.
Okay.
So I know that as an amateur, I need to win national competitions. I need to go to Golden Gloves. I'm Pennsylvania Golden Gloves champion. I went to the National Golden Gloves in Omaha to become a national champion. I fought in the Sugar Burt tournament. I know that if I go to the Olympics and I win a gold medal or I win a bronze medal, or just me saying that I've been to the Olympic qualifiers, I fought in the Olympic trials, I fought in Tokyo, that's 2020.
Right.
I fought to go to Rio. Me saying that, I'll be able to generate more support. I'll have more of a following.
Right.
Golden Gloves this year is going to be in Atlantic City.
Okay.
I go there, I'm defending heavyweight champion from Philadelphia.
Right.
I'm a heavyweight now. I got more support because it's in Atlantic City now.
Right.
So my backyard going to be there. Y'all going to be able to be there. Delaware going to be able to be there. New Jersey going to be able to be there. I lost to the fighter from New Jersey out Omaha. So I put that out there just to let him know, it's going to be me and him in Atlantic City in his backyard
Okay.
this year.
Go ahead,
But,
Frida. Yeah, it's good.
but it's all
Oh,
about,
sorry.
when I turn professional,
Right.
I want to fill up those seats.
Right, right.
So this is all
But
leading
it's
that.
all about work.
Yeah,
You
it's
put in the
it's
work. That's why
that work.
now you have those people behind you. It's the same thing with authorship.
Right.
And Frida can tell you.
Yeah, as a self-published author, like I did The Storms Caused My Faith the first go around in 2004. That was the first release. I redid it. I did, when I became, more aware of who I was as a person, as an author.
Right.
I revamped it. I brought about a newness to it, but I had to redo myself, and I had to learn that you have to really self-publish means promote, and
Right.
I have to go to anything and everything that's out there. I have to do more book signings. If I gotta go to Media Books every weekend, then that's what I have to do. And then if there's other arenas that I have to occupy, like coming in here today, this is my first time meeting them, but they've heard of me. Why have they heard of me? They've seen the book before.
Right.
Why? Not
Exactly.
only am I doing social media postings, but I've done more arenas. I've gone to Philly, I've gone to New Jersey, I've done a lot of different venues here in Delaware, the Hockessin Book Fair. You have to do more, and you have to promote yourself. You have to market yourself.
Right. Self-publishing, you got to get an ISBN number. Dave, is it more prevalent for the self-published author to get their ISBN number through CreateSpace, or should they get their own?
Well, that's a loaded question.
I was gonna say I've done both. I
Well,
did
that's
both.
why I go on YouTube and I
Right.
research these
See,
things, so I hear different things. So.
I think I haven't really published anything through CreateSpace, but
Okay.
from what I understand, is authors upload their information to CreateSpace, and you can upload your cover, or, all the things that you need. And I'm not certain about this, but what I've been told is that they assign you an ISBN number through through CreateSpace. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I understand.
May I just say something? When we talk about publishing, self-publishing, you are doing everything yourself. Creative Space to me is a good outlet for someone who doesn't really know the industry of self-publishing.
And I would agree. I
But
would agree.
we're in a stage right now, in an age where we can do this on our own, as Frida said. What I give to my sister is I want her to be successful.
Right.
I'm not holding anything back from her.
Exactly.
I'm proud of her. I've seen her from the very beginning stage to now a playwright. Go onto Bowker, BOWKER.com. You buy, if you plan on being a writer, this is what you love to do, buy 10 ISBN numbers, which will cost you $275, and you hang on to 10 ISBN numbers
Right.
for $275. Bowker, BOWKER. Get your ISBN numbers, hang on to it.
Right.
And if you want to really just give me a call.
Right.
You know, don't when you go to Creative Space and all those places, you're using their ISBN number.
You are.
Cannot take it anywhere else with you.
You are.
It belongs to them.
And that's the purpose of the question.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
the answer is, if you're talking about self-publishing where you're doing every step on your own,
Right.
Bowker, BOWKER.com.
You know,
Get
Ms.
your-
Young, you know, you have a bookstore. Here locally,
Yes.
Borders of Concord Pike had closed. Was it 9th Street Bookstore, right? Mark Street Mall
Yes,
closed, and
and-
the bookstores are closing, you know, nationally, because I guess Amazon is really,
Right, right.
really contributing to these bookstores being closed. So,
Yes.
is it a struggle for you, because you're a bookstore owner? Something to me just asked you, has it been a struggle over the years?
It definitely has been a struggle, and
Right.
it continues to be a struggle. But you know, this is a great, and I'm happy you asked that question, because I want the young people to know, when you believe in something, you don't give up.
You don't give up.
I don't care what comes along,
would
because
agree.
you know, life is just
Yeah.
it's cyclical. It's a circle.
Right.
I'm beginning to see now, when the iPad and the, what do you call it, Nook and the Kindle came out, everyone ran, oh, I'm not buying books anymore. I have this Nook and this Kindle. Now, guess what? Oh, I can't deal with them Nook and Kindle anymore. I want to come and I want to turn the pages.
Right. Right.
Plus,
right.
it fosters conversation. You know, we're going away from conversation. Bookstores are about coming together
Right.
and sharing ideas and sharing thoughts and sharing your vision. That, I would never trade that for a computer or laptop. But so, yes, we're having difficult times, but guess what? You roll with the punches, and you learn how to morph. You know, so you add the old with the new, and that's how you survive.
I'm currently working on my first novel.
Okay.
First novel ever.
Congratulations.
So-
It
so-
takes time.
Congratulations.
It takes
Yes, it
time.
does take
So
time.
that's all
I've
right.
been writing one
It
for like
took a while.
5 years.
So Frida, give me that feeling when you get that very first book published, the very first one. What is that feeling like?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's like you
She
won
had
the
that smile. She
lottery.
had that
You see,
smile.
you see the smile, yes. Yeah, it's almost like you've won the lottery, and it was a matter of like the first Storms Caused My Faith, the blue cover with the clouds, and
Yeah.
you know the one that it's so personal. Like you don't want anybody to touch it yet. You don't want
Okay,
anybody to
okay,
read it yet. You want to
okay.
sit down with it. You want to flip through the pages. And you feel like you're so proud. Like that was like one of the proudest moments in my life. It was like compared to the day that my daughter graduated from high school. Like, you know, it's almost incomparable, but
Right.
it is. It's so, you know, I'm really excited. And then I have to say that when I published The Key Is Me, my first children's book, it was like the first book all over again. And now that I'm working on my first play, that's
Okay.
this
Well,
weekend.
go ahead and talk about the place.
Well,
Next
no,
week,
you know,
right?
it's this weekend. You know, this is my life. Get to know me before you judge me. You know, someone, Robert Moore, he called me in to be a part of the writing process of writing the play, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it. But it's amazing. Like being able to see the vision of your words written down on paper, actually being acted out, and being able to really visualize
It's
your
awesome
your
feeling.
life
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
your life just being acted out before you through the vision of somebody else, and you come together. It's just really amazing. So if you guys can make it out this weekend, the 23rd at 6.
Where's it going to be at?
It's going to be at Warner. So it's Warner Elementary this Saturday at 6 o'clock, and on Sunday at 3 o'clock. So if you guys can come out, tickets are $20. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to add to that. I'm very proud of what Frida's actually doing, because it's a lot of work
Yes.
just getting a cast of people together to actually produce a play.
Yes.
Currently, I'm working on a screenplay with one of my business colleagues, and he's also my cousin, and it's called Soul Man. And we are actually holding casting calls down at the Wilmington Library on the second floor. We're usually every Saturday from 12:30 to like 3 o'clock, just looking for different people. Currently, we have a project that we're shooting to produce a short film. And it's sort of like a Twilight Zone mix, but it's a Christian-based ideal. And we're looking for like 6-7 people total maximum for this production, that movie production. It's going to be a screenplay that we're trying to produce.
So what's your contact number for our information?
You can find me on Facebook as Book Publisher Dave. If you want to leave a message, you can call me at 188-469-8550 extension 2, and you can leave a message there, and we'll contact you. And if you're interested, you can show up at the Wilmington Library on Saturday on the 2nd floor. The one near Rodney Square.
Right.
And we should be there by 12:30, and just let us know that what you're there for, and you can actually read for us, And it's like I said, it's a Christian-based screenplay, and it's called Soul Man, and that's one of the other productions that we're working along with some other books that we have coming out and that it's already been published.
Right. So there are those who are watching right now who are writers or want to be writers, and they get writer's block. How do you work to prevent it? Well, once you get the writer's block, what do you do? I mean, how do you handle it?
I'd say just write. Just write and try to schedule time to write.
Right.
Just write. If you schedule time to write and just allow your spirit to flow, that whatever comes out, just write. Don't be too critical of yourself as to what you're writing, but allow whatever is being downloaded to be written.
Right.
So, Ms. M, bestseller. You might hear John Doe. He's a bestseller, a bestseller author. What makes a person a bestseller author? How does one become a best-selling author?
I'll speak. Two answers. From a general point of view, or the fundamental, or the industry of book selling, of course, numbers. Okay. And numbers equate how much and where you're going. As Frida mentioned, you have to be everywhere. Okay, but I think you're able to be everywhere when you have a purpose and a reason why you've written the book. You know where your market is, and you shoot for those areas instead of being everywhere, kind of crazy, you know. But for me, Letters to Ms. M to me is a bestseller. Why it's a bestseller? Because it has affected so many young men and young women, and in the detention centers. When I walk in, I say, "Yeah, I read your book." The guys in prison, Smyrna. I'm about to publish a book by a young man by the name of Brian Brown.
Okay.
He's doing time in Smyrna right now. He'll be home in 2023.
Right.
Prolific writer, great poet. He doesn't even know that I'm doing this for him. So when he gets his book, it's a major surprise.
Right.
So to me, if my book impacts a child's life, to me that's a bestseller.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
That's
know?
great.
So-
Okay, we got the 30 seconds each for everybody. The 30 seconds. Go ahead, start with Dave.
Well,
Closing
I
comments.
just love what everybody is actually doing, because they're just helping different people in different aspects of what they actually focusing on with groups, and that's basically what I'm doing also. I'm just trying to help somebody to publish their book, and
Right.
that's
Okay.
basically it. So
D-Mark.
I feel like what everybody's doing is amazing as far as prison reform goes, justice reform, and the acting, the shows that you guys are doing. I've thought about it. I've thought about acting myself, so I might be down there. Soul Man, you might see me in Soul Man. When Tommy Moore came and he did Dare to Be Black, the Jack Johnson play at the Delaware Theater Company, I went and I watched and I was like, man, this is Jack Johnson's life on stage.
Awesome.
Right.
And this man did a monologue, like he did it by himself.
Right.
He wrote it, directed it, he did everything by himself. And then he performed and he said Othello's part, because Othello, Jack Johnson, he acted for a little bit. And I brought him to the Hicks Center to talk to the kids.
Okay.
And he did that.
Okay, Frida.
I just want to say, everybody continue doing what you are doing, and just for those out there that are watching, just continue to follow your dreams, whatever it is that's inside of you. You just remember that you can do it,
Right.
and it is okay. It may take time, but that's okay too.
Right.
Just strive for excellence, and you can be all that you can be.
Miss M, last but not least.
And I agree with Frida. I'm not even going to say, you know, the sentiment she just spoke, that's
Right.
how I feel. Also, we're waiting for your book to read your
Yes,
book.
yes.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
it's about
we're
time.
we're putting it out there.
Yeah, okay,
we're putting
okay.
it out there, so we're going to be waiting,
Okay, I
Brother
put you on the
Omar.
spot now. All right.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
thank all four of you for coming on. You've all wonderful
Thank
guests.
you.
Thank you
We gotta
always.
do this
Happy
again.
Father's Day.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yes.
And
Yes,
thank you
happy
for tuning in
Father's
to
Day.
another edition of Artists. I'll be back in 2 weeks. God bless and have a safe week.